we find out that, and I did not know this until I read it in the Washington Post today, that there are now more troops in Iraq and Afghanistan combined today than there were at the height of the surge in Iraq. Isn't that interesting? So Obama got elected to take us out of wars. In fact, he even won a Nobel Peace Prize to do something along those lines. And he actually has more troops in Iraq and Afghanistan than Bush did, even at the height of the surge. That's not that great an idea. Okay, so now let's look at the numbers, and they're interesting in a couple of different ways. So right now we have 65,000 U.S. troops in Afghanistan and 124,000 in Iraq. Well, at the height of the surge in 07 and early 08, we had 160,000 troops in Iraq and 26,000 in Afghanistan. So you add those up and you find out we have more troops in both countries now. Now, obviously, you see we're withdrawing some from Iraq, as promised by Obama, and we're putting more into Afghanistan, as promised by Obama. So he's not breaking those promises in that way. Now, did you hear what I thought was the most relevant number in there? I know I threw a lot of them out there for you. In late 07, early 08, Bush only had 26,000 troops in Afghanistan. And he had 160,000 in Iraq. You know what that means? That means he's like, Afghanistan? Who cares? Afghanistan, that's where Al-Qaeda is? Those are the people who attacked us? Who cares, man? It was an afterthought for him. He picked his ass in Afghanistan for 7 years. Did nothing. Not a squat. There's some chance that George Bush blew the Afghanistan war more than he blew the Iraq war. And people don't talk about that. You know, they talk about, oh, what a disaster Iraq was, for good reason. It was a disaster, right? But what they don't talk about enough is he didn't even try in Afghanistan, and those were the guys who attacked us. Well, at least Al-Qaeda was in Afghanistan and Taliban was sheltering him at the time. Now, that was a long, long time ago. Now I see articles written about how, is Afghanistan going to be Obama's Vietnam? How come you didn't write that articles was while Bush was picking his ass for 7 years in Afghanistan? How come that wasn't Bush's Vietnam? No. You excuse Bush for those whole 7 years. Now you say in the last 9 months, Obama, you didn't rescue it. Your fault. Look, I get he's the president, of course, and so we have to be concerned about what he's going to do. And I understand that he took it upon himself to, make the situation in Afghanistan better. So he takes on that as a responsibility. So I'm not saying you don't talk about it. I'm not saying you don't question him and you don't challenge him. Of course you do. Of course we're in favor of that. But I'm not in favor of giving Bush a pass on it. It's not being talked nearly enough how badly he bungled out war and how he didn't care at all what happened there. So, and when you look back at it, there's a great case to be made that he screwed up Afghanistan worse than he even screwed up Iraq. Congratulations, George Bush. Leave it to Bush to, outdo himself in screwing things up. And as he has left office, looking back at it, we see it even clearer and clearer what a disaster he was.